All right, we are back. Apologize for not uploading the last couple of days, but we got a 6-game slate to talk about here for DFS. Before we do, though, if you guys are new, my name is DK. Again, we'll be talking about the 6-game slate on Monday. I also make content for XFL, Prize Picks. Prize Picks are the sponsor of the video. I have it linked down below, but you can use the code DKDFS for 100% match up to $100. That's a free $100 to play with on the site. So if you're a first-time user and want to check it out, take advantage of that free money. And yeah, I'll have a Prize Picks video up after this. Didn't have the best day today on Prize Picks, but just not the best day overall, actually. But yeah, make sure to check that out. Again, I'll have a video up after this as well. So and if you're looking for more in-depth content, you can check my Patreon linked in the description. All right, so let's kind of recap the last few days. So this was Friday night, and this was just so tilting. I cash in tournaments with unowned Anthony Edwards, who got injured midway through the first quarter. It's just more proof, again, that no one runs worse. Like, it's don't have to keep saying it because you guys know this by now. Well, just look at this, right? Look at this. I hit on unowned Looney going for 50. Payne and Tyus go for 50. I got DiVincenzo at low ownership smashing. Bogdanovich, Mobley, Kuminga were all fine, but if Anthony Edwards plays here, it's a massive day. Like, if he doesn't get injured, it's a massive night for me. So that was super frustrating on Friday. This was Saturday. Also frustrating, even though it was a big day, because the Kings Wizards ran a massive blowout and ran a massive blowout in Memphis, too, to punish the Tyus Jones Sharks. How about Daniel Gafford ran a massive foul trouble? You bet. Now, again, Gafford, I knew that was a risk. He is foul prone, but still, it's like, come on, man. Come on. So, yeah, I finished in 9th in this tournament, but it could have been a lot. I probably could have had a takedown as long as the Kings-Wizards game didn't blow out. The starters got pulled with about, 5-6 minutes to go, so that was massive. But, yeah, that was the recap there. So, good day DFS last couple of days, Friday, Saturday. Friday, with an injury, still cashing tournaments. Saturday had a massive night. It could have been a takedown if we didn't have some random blowouts. Tonight, it was not good. It was not a good night for me. Just very forgettable. Low-scoring slate. Yeah, nothing really went well. I went to contrarian Anthony Davis. Thought he would bounce back. He was awful. It's Austin Reeves' team now. Jay Sean Tate, Chalk didn't get there. Boucher was a letdown at low ownership. Jay Rich, Trey Murphy started the game with 20 fantasy points. He finished with 20 fantasy points. So yeah, just a very forgettable night tonight, but still very profitable weekend for myself. So hoping to keep that going. And yeah, let's just get into the 6-gamer. So we'll start off with Indiana and Charlotte. On the Indiana side, no Halliburton. We got Mathurin, Duarte, Jackson status up in the air. So the status of Mathurin and Duarte is definitely going to affect some of these other plays, like Naismith, like Nwora, Nemhard. So we'll have to keep an eye on the news for sure. Top end guys, Miles Turner, 7.3K. I like targeting bigs against the Hornets. The price has come down on him. I think if he stays out of foul trouble, he's probably going to play low to mid 30s minutes. So like his ceiling. Buddy Hield, the issue I have with him, yes, there's going to be more usage without Halliburton, but he's really just not playing more than low 30s minutes. So it's not saying he can't still get there at that time, but it's a little bit less likely, even though he'll have a lot of shots up. Nemhard at 6'1". I mean, he'll probably play low to mid 30s minutes. I would rather play McConnell off the bench. Probably plays a little bit less, a little bit more productive, though. And then, Nwora and Naismith, I think are going to be solid plays in the mid-range if there's no Mathurin and there's no Duarte. But if you add Mathurin and Duarte back to this rotation, that makes these guys a lot riskier. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. And then I don't think I'm going to get to anyone else for the Pacers. Moving on to the Hornets. I think everyone's a little bit too cheap here for Charlotte. So I'm pretty high on the Hornets tomorrow, which is a bit scary to say, but Rozier sub 8K, Oubre sub 7K. I like the ceiling on both. They should play high 30s minutes in competitive game. Rozier probably has the highest ceiling, but Oubre is getting a lot of shots up when he's on the court. He did not make his shots last game. That's why he got blown out. But yeah, still getting a good amount of shots up. Gordon Hayward sub 6K, I think is reasonable. You'll get those pop-off games from him here and there. Most of the time, he's going to hover around 25 to 30 fantasy points. PJ Washington 5.8K also feels a little bit too cheap. So I like all the main guys, and I like Dennis Smith Jr. He continues to start. He continues to play low 30s minutes. He's not a bad point per minute guy. He'll have the ball in his hands a good amount. So all the main guys plus Nick Richards at 5.1, I think are solid options. Richards got massive foul trouble last game, which was not a surprise against the 76ers. So Kai Jones got extended run, and Kai Jones smashed. Now, Kai Jones, not a bad point per minute guy. Most of the time, he's going to play high teens, like 16 to 18 minutes. But if you get a game like last game where Richards gets some foul trouble, he could get extended and crush. So that's kind of my thoughts on the Hornets. I like a lot of the main guys, and I like both bigs too. Chicago and Philadelphia. So Chicago, nothing really standing out at the top end. You got DeRozan at 8.7, Levine at 8.3, Vooch at 7.7. As like it's usual, my usual breakdown here with the Bulls of in a competitive game, one of these guys can have a good game. Kind of hard to try to pick who it's going to be. They're similar to the Raptors when they're fully healthy. It's just like it's a tough one. So usually if I'm playing someone on the Bulls, it'll be someone, one of the lower owned options. So like, for example, if DeRozan gets a lot of ownership and if I'm going to play a Bull, I would rather go to a lower owned one of the main three guys. Pat Beverly, minutes, been hovering around, 30. I think he's reasonable. Brussel's questionable. If he misses, he should get a little more run for Io, Kobe White, Patrick Williams. Those guys would all benefit. And then Drummond, he'll play the backup five. If Vooch gets in foul trouble, min-price Drummond, I could see taking a shot at him in a large field tournament. Philadelphia, so you got Joel Embiid, 11-6. I like him, and I like Harden at the top. This is where the offense is going to run. They're going to play close to 40 minutes, and not a bad matchup. I think Maxey at 7.4 feels priced about right with Harden and Embiid healthy. Tobias Harris feels a little bit overpriced with a fully healthy team. Melton feels a little bit overpriced. Again, a lot of these guys got price bumps when Harden missed, so not a lot standing out to me here outside of the top guys. Minnesota and New York. So Gobert, questionable. I think he plays, though. He's been questionable the last 4 games. Anthony Edwards, I think, is more on the doubtful side. He was in like a walking boot. We'll see. I guess he's going to try to play. Now, if Anthony Edwards plays, I like him sub 9K. If he misses, it opens up a lot here for the Timberwolves. Last game, they kind of got blown out, but there's just a lot of usage for guys like Conley, Slow-Mo, McDaniels. Taurean Prince started, was awful, but like he's only 3.4K. If there's no Ant, I think, I like the ceiling on all these guys. Slow-Mo's played extremely well, stuff in the stat sheet. McDaniels, if he stays out of foul trouble, should play a ton. Again, Prince started, played 30 minutes last game. If you give me 30 minutes again from a 3.4K Taurean Prince, I will play him every single day at that price. Alexander Walker was massive chalk last slate. I faded. It was the Jordan McLaughlin show instead of NAW. Both guards are going to be playable, though, for sure, if there's no Ant at 3.5 and 3.3K. And then if Gobert misses, you can look to Naz Reid if he plays, but I'm pretty sure Gobert will play. And Gobert himself is just like a last piece in, probably plays around 30 minutes. For the Knicks, I like the price points of both Randall and Brunson. 9.2K for Randall. It's been a little bit quiet of late. Brunson is 7.5K. I expect, high 30s minutes for both these guys if the game stays close. So I like the price of both. I think Quickly is a bit pricey with Brunson back. I think Barrett's a bit pricey with Brunson back. I think Josh Hart feels priced about right at 6K. Mitchell Robinson, 4.5. The minutes have been trending down a little bit on him, but still a guy that, can go for 35 fantasy points, if he stays out of foul trouble. So I think he's playable in tournaments. Hartenstein, he'll play the backup 5. He's been playing a little bit more of late, 3.7. So both the centers, I think, are fair plays for the Knicks. Dallas and Memphis. So you got Luka, Kyrie status both up in the air. I actually think both play. Luka went through practice on Thursday, so I'm pretty sure he'll be good to go. And Kyrie played last game. Now, assuming both play, I think it would only be Luka and Kyrie that I'd be interested in, and as long as there's no limitations. Like, I wouldn't play Luka if he's on a limit, but he's only missed, a week and a half. But if there is a limit on him, that I wouldn't go there. Christian Wood, back-to-back huge games, but I don't know if I trust the minutes for him, especially if you got Luka and Kyrie both healthy, unless he starts, but I don't think he will. And a lot of these value plays are just priced up from when Luka and Kyrie were out, so I don't think I can get to anyone else. Now, if surprisingly Luka and Kyrie both sit, then we kind of know what to do here, right? Then it's going to be Jaden Hardy's show, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood. They would run the offense. You get more run for Bullock, more run for Kleba, more run for McKinley Wright. But right now, I think both those guys do play. On the Memphis side, John Morant and Adams are still out, but Triple J is questionable. That's huge. If Triple J misses, I'm pretty sure you're going to get Santi Aldama in the starting lineup. If that's the case, he'd become a phenomenal value. And then you'd probably get a little more run for Tillman. I think David Roddy would play a bit more. Maybe a little bit of Jake LaRavia, but yeah, I think that that Aldama would be the clear play there if Jaren Jackson misses. And then it would just be more usage for guys like Bane and Tyus Jones. Dallas has not been great defensively of late. Bane, Jones, both these guys have pretty high ceilings, so would like those guys both a good amount. I like them either way, but they're going to look a little bit better if Triple J misses. Triple J himself, if he plays at 8.1, always a good tournament play. The ceiling's there, but the floor is low if he gets in foul trouble like he does a good amount still. Dylan Brooks, the shot attempts will be there. He'll probably play low 30s minutes. He's reasonable. Kennard's been playing solid run off the bench. I think he's fine. And then again, Aldama, Roddy, they're both still playable, I would say, if Jaren Jackson plays, but they look better if Jaren Jackson misses. Golden State and Houston, so no Wiggins, no Jerome. Kevon Looney's questionable. I think he'll play. I like the ceiling at Steph Curry, sub 10K. He's been a little bit quiet last couple games, but this is just like you would think the bounce back smash spot here against Houston. So I like his upside a good amount. I think Clay and Poole find tournament plays. Draymond Green, always a guy that has triple-double upside, stuff stat sheet. I think he's a pretty safe play. DiVincenzo, 5-6 minutes. Not as secure with, when you have a fully healthy front court, but he's still fine. Kuminga feels a little bit pricey. I think I'll only get to him if Von Looney misses. And then don't know if I get to anyone else. I mean, JaMychal Green is 3-4. I plays 10 to 15 minutes. I get a little bit of run for Anthony Lamb. But yeah, let's move on to Houston. So Houston, again, they're just running a really tight rotation right now. I like the main guys still. Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Şengün. I think, KPJ probably your safest bet. He played 40 minutes tonight. Jalen Green had a huge game. If he's making the shots like he did tonight, the ceiling's clearly there. Şengün, the minutes have not been as high, but he'll be very productive when he's on the court. So all three of the main guys like for tournaments. Jabari Smith was awful tonight, shot 2 of 10, but still played 38 minutes. KJ Martin kind of got a minute slash last game, only played 28. Usually he's playing a little bit more. And then you got Jayshawn Tate and Eason, guys that'll kind of round out the rotation off the bench. Eason probably plays around 20 minutes. Jayshawn Tate probably plays similar minutes. So they're both fair values. Finally, Sacramento and Utah. It's just one of those things. Is like, when will the Sabonis faders learn? I've been talking about this. Like, when will they learn their lesson? When will they learn? I continue to play him at low ownership every slate. He continues to win me all the money. That's why Sabonis is that's why I have a Sabonis shirt, right? Just super, super consistent. He's smashing. It's a great matchup against Utah. I like Sabonis once again quite a bit. I like the price point in Fox too. Only 8.2K. He's been a little bit quiet of late just because it's been the Sabonis show, but that feels a little bit too cheap for Fox. Herter, Lyles status up in the air. If they both miss, so number one, you should get more solidified minutes for guys like Barnes and Keegan Murray, and then you probably get more run for Monk and more run for Terrence Davis. Monk last game played 23 minutes. Terrence Davis came off the bench at elevated ownership, played 29 minutes. I was a little bit tilted about that last slate. Pastor Edwards got the start last game for Herter, played 19 minutes. I don't have any interest in him just because he's not a good point per minute guy, but yeah, those guys would all benefit if Herter and Lyles both miss. If Herter and Lyles are both in, then I think, it's mainly Sabonis and Fox, but would have a little bit of interest still in like Barnes and Herter and Lyles and Murray. And then finally, the Jazz. So we got no Clarkson, no Sexton. We don't know the status of Lauri Markkanen, which is pretty big because Lauri Markkanen is their go-to guy, highest usage player. So if Lauri Markkanen's out, well, number one is more usage for guys like Kessler, THT, Olynyk. You should get a lot more run for Abachi, Fettuccine Alfredo. I think Chris Dunn would probably just play a little bit more too. So, yeah, there would be a good amount to like here for the Jazz if there's no Markkanen. Kessler ceiling goes up. THT, probably plays the only issue I have with the Jazz is like the minutes are still not amazing really on anyone, but again, all these guys would get a pretty significant usage bump. Again, you saw that one like massive first half for Fettuccine Alfredo a couple sites ago. I don't think we can expect that again. Ochai Abachi would probably play a ton. He's not super productive, but the thing with Abachi is the eligibility plus like he's playing good amount and is cheap. So those guys would still be viable too. I don't know if I can get to anyone else though. Like I don't know if I can start considering guys like JTA or like Rudy Gay or Johnny Juzang. Like I don't think I can stomach that. So, and then if Lauri Markkanen plays himself, obviously the rest of the stars don't look as good. And then I would like Lauri a good amount at 9-1 against the Kings. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for the video. Again, apologize for not uploading the last couple of days, but we are back to the grind. I appreciate all the returning viewers and new viewers, and good luck. We'll see you in the next one.